Tonight's Unified Bank profile used to play for the team across the side from us tonight, the South Carolina Stingrays, but now we're happy to have him here in downtown Wheeling. It's defenseman Jesse Lees. And Jesse, what's that going to be like taking the ice for the first time against the team that you were teammates with earlier this year?
Yeah, it's going to be strange. I spent a little bit of last year and the whole year so far this year in South Carolina, and it was definitely a good experience. It was my first taste at pro, so definitely a lot of good feelings towards those guys. But once we get out there, it's going to be completely different and be a big rivalry.
As someone who played in Canadian University, therefore there's not much as far as the transaction wire goes, what was it like to be part of a trade?
Yeah, this is the second time in my life that I've been traded. I got traded once in junior, so kind of knew the ropes a little bit, but I think it's a little different down here in pro. You're traveling a bigger distance and going to a place I've never been before. So it's definitely a new experience for me, but something that I'm really grateful for.
You saw the team play in Florida. You got into the last game down there. Then you're part of the big 3-3 weekend sweep that you guys had last weekend. What have you noticed early on that makes this team successful, especially getting those 3 wins in a row?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of really good skill in this room. We play really fast, and I think off the transition game, that's something that we really attack teams and ways that we create chances for ourselves. So I think if we keep doing that and playing our game and playing within our structure, I think we'll do well this weekend.
Let's talk more about your path as an individual. You finish out your year at Canadian University last season, and actually this is around the time that a lot of those guys start to make the jump. So what made you go to South Carolina? And obviously you hit it off right away with 6 points right out of the chute.
Yeah, for me they were, I think, the first place in their division. So, and when I started talking to them, it was definitely somewhere that I was interested in. I knew a few guys that were playing down there and said that they absolutely loved it. And on top of that, Charleston's a beautiful city to live in as well. So that was definitely something that I wanted to jump on when I got the chance.
What did you notice about yourself that made you have that quick success, especially on the offensive side of things?
I think my coaches, when I was down there, put me in really good positions to succeed. Let me play my game and play the way that I was used to playing. And I think I fit in well with kind of their game that they had there and the way they were playing. So it just helped me have some personal success inside of our team success that we had while I was there.
Fast forward to this year, and beginning of the year, that team got a lot of players from Washington and Hershey. And although I'm sure you probably would have liked to have seen more time in the lineup, what did that do in terms of the dynamic around the team with having so much talent coming down from the higher levels?
Yeah, obviously it's tough not getting in the lineup, but I just took it as a great opportunity to learn. There were a lot of guys down there that had played pro and for multiple years and been to the NHL, been to camp, all sorts of things like that. So just learning from those guys how to be a pro on and off the ice, and it's something that helped me develop greatly this year, and super fortunate to be able to be in that position as much as I didn't like it at the time.
For the fans in Wheeling who are just getting a chance to get used to you playing and what you look like on the ice, what do you pride yourself on? What type of a player do you see yourself as? I would say I'm definitely kind of a two-way defenseman. Take care of my stuff in the D zone, but like jumping up in the rush. Really like being on the power play, shooting the pucks. So you can look for those kind of things in my game. I'm not going to make you put any bulletin board material out there, or maybe you have a few secrets that you'll share with the boys in the locker room, but we haven't seen South Carolina since that 2-game series back in January. What do the Stingrays do well in your mind?
They're a good team. They have a lot of skill on that team. I think they're kind of starting to piece together now the way they need to play to be successful. I think that was something that they were kind of struggling with, was their identity, which I think that they've kind of started to find here in the last few games. They're a fast team with lots of skill and like to play with the puck in the O-zone. So I think for us, if we can kind of veer them from that and keep pucks in their D zone, we'll be very successful against them.
Are they streaky? Because I feel like at the beginning of the year when we saw you guys there, they were playing very well. Then they had that 10-game skid, and then all of a sudden you turn around and they're sweeping Fort Wayne next thing you know. Has that kind of been the ups and downs of their year?
Yeah, they had a few ups and downs. At the beginning of the year, they were doing well. Like you said earlier, they had all those guys down from Hershey, which was definitely a big help. And I think once they left, guys were just still trying to figure out their roles and stuff like that. So That's kind of what happened through the 10-game skid there. But other than that, I think they're a good team, and it's going to be a great challenge for us.
Well, hopefully we can utilize that knowledge that you have, and we're very excited to have you wearing the Nailers uniform. You've had a really nice start to your first few games with the team, so we're excited to have some more of that from you. And Jesse, I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me today.
Thank you.
Jesse Lee is one of the new defensemen for your Wheeling Nailers. Tonight's Unified Bank Nailers Profile. Coming up, more of intermission coverage on the Nailers Broadcast Network presented by Main Street Bank.